Okay, good morning. We're solving give unit rates proportional. So we want to take this sentence and we want to create a line equals line setup for each of these. So I'm going to do that first. So you go through first and set up your line equals line. This puts it into a setup that we're familiar with, which shows equivalent proportions. Now I want to take this and set it up so that I have units to units. Here we're talking about blocks and houses. So every block. So when it says every, we're talking about one. I'm going to put blocks in the bottom. Houses. So we have houses to blocks, 15 houses to one block. If I could do it the other way, one block, 15 houses, doesn't matter as long as I'm consistent with what I have over here. How many houses are there on 7 blocks? So the 1 is the blocks. So I need to put the 7 across from the 1 because I always have to have houses to blocks or blocks to houses. Okay, either way. But if you notice, when I cross multiply and get ready to divide, it's the same. 15 times 7, 15 times 7. So I'm going to take my calculator. 15 times 7 nets me 105. Technically, I would divide by 1. I would divide by 1, but that's also 105. So our answer there is how many houses are on 7 blocks? 105 houses. Okay, so we've got our line equals line. We cross multiply and divide and use the correct label of houses. Okay, there are 18 passengers on one bus. So we've got passengers to buses. Passengers to buses. So our other side, passengers on 19 buses. So I don't know how many passengers they are, so I can just call that P, but I know I have 19 buses. Okay, so I cross multiply. Notice, this is a 1. So when I cross multiply 18 times 19, I get 342, and I'm just dividing by 1, so it's 342. I already have a unit rate, so that makes it a little bit easier. So there would be 342 passengers. Okay, how's it feel so far? Okay, so this is written, this is the same thing, 1S, 9 plates. I could have wrote it the other way. The key is making sure that I have stack to stack, plate to plate, and I don't know how many plates there are. So cross multiply, 9 times 4, divided by the 1 is 36 plates. Okay, 1 floor, 4 apartments, 1 to 4. We don't know how many apartments. And look, see what they do to you here. This is apartments. They switched it up on us. So you have to make sure that this is floor apartment. So we don't know the number of apartments, but there's 18 floors. This is not equivalent to that. They switched it up. So you have to make sure you put the number of floors on top because the floors are on top here. Cross multiply, 18 times 4 is 72. So there would be 72 apartments. 9 plates, 1 stack. I'll actually use individual letters. How many plates in 8 stacks? Cross multiply, 72 divided by 1, so there's 72 plates. Okay. Every block, so every means 1. So I'm going to put 11H, 1 block. Houses on 13 blocks. 13B, I don't know the number of houses. 11 times 13 divided by 1. This is going to tell me if I had 13 blocks, how many houses would I have? I would have 143 houses. Okay, if I have 11 on one block, I'd have 143 on 13. 20 passengers on one bus. How many passengers, I don't know, on 10 buses? 20 times 10 is 200 divided by 1, so 200 passengers. I cross multiplied and divided. 1 row, 15 seats. Don't know how many seats, so make sure you put that on the bottom. Rows on top, row to seats, row to seats. 15 times 24, I'm going to take my calculator. I could do that on paper, but this is not about that. 360, and I'd be dividing by 1, so the answer is 360 seats. Last one, every floor, which is 1. I'm going to do apartments to floors. How many apartments? So we want to know how many apartments are on 15 floors. 15 times 11, I'm going to take my calculator. 15 times 11, 165. So that means there's 165 apartments. So in review, line equals line, set up your proportion, cross multiply and divide by the one that doesn't have a partner, and use the correct label.